So when we look at primary sources, one area of focus could be on maps, both historical and present day. The first thing to do to look at a map to see is the information about the map itself. We have the map, obviously, as our main focal point, but it's very quickly helpful to look at things like the title, the legend or key. The compass rose will help you out, and other things like this is the scale for the map, and perhaps other labels as well. We can see different labels throughout the map, both countries, geographical points, as well as events that occurred. So first things first, when you look at a map, you want to scan it and say, hey, am I familiar with this area? Do I know a lot about it? For instance, looking at this map, I know quickly that this is Europe because I've spent a lot of time looking at studying and understanding Europe. If you don't know the area, if you don't know the location, it might be a little more challenging and you may want to go back and do some more information. Perhaps you could look up some information regarding Germany or Spain to get a better sense of where we are, or the Mediterranean Sea, etc., to help kind of understand where am I first. Look for familiar places that on the map that you can see. For instance, perhaps it is countries or rivers or a state, something like that. Then look at the map itself, what a normal map would look like, and what doesn't belong. For instance, if I look at this map, I can see there are oceans, there are seas, there are land masses, peninsulas. But there are some things on this map that aren't on every map. For instance, these arrows, which means these arrows are probably significant. Also, these little locations here, this like red fiery looking thing with a dot, that is probably significant because they took their time out of their way to put it on the map. We also have other places like these cities here that are marked with dots, which is sometimes common, sometimes uncommon on maps, but those cities might be significant for us understanding what's going on as well. So you're going to observe, see what's familiar, see what you know, see what you don't know. Look for what's not normally there, and then take a look at the legend or key off to the side and see if that helps you out. For instance, I can now see that the colors mean something. So it matters if the land is green or the land is gray, or if it's a light orange or a dark orange. Those are significant and they're going to mean something. So they're going to provide me information in ways that I might not have known before. I knew where Germany was, yes, but did I know the areas that it controlled, and did I know it was connected, in this case, to the Axis? If I didn't know that, now I know, and there's something that I can visually see there. Continuing to look, we can see the red lines represent Axis offensives, and the blue lines represent Allies offensives. So those give me a quick sense. If I look at where the blue lines are and the red lines are and the directions that they're going, I can kind of see the way the Axis are traveling and the way the Allies are traveling. For instance, I'll just take the left half of the map right over here. I can see that the Axis are invading from the east towards the west down into France, and I can see conversely that the Allies are starting in France and invading to the eastern side of Europe. I can also see, wow, now I know what those red markers are. They're major battles, and those battles might be significant for me to understand what's going on. And using this information, we can now create a hypothesis. Why? Why was this map created? Was it to give us geographical features? Was it to explain human movement? Was it to explain a time period? Explain something we'd see in modern day Europe? Why was this created? Taking a look at things like the title, taking a look at things that don't belong, you can kind of try and figure that out. So create a hypothesis for this map. What was its purpose? Why was it designed? Who was it designed for? Why might someone need to look at this map? And what does this map tell you? So looking at this map, I can see it's World War II in Europe. That's the title right up here. And I can see these different arrows. I see in the legend the Axis and Allies are being repeated multiple times. So I could probably hypothesize that this has something to do with Axis versus Allies fighting during World War II. And the audience would not be someone interested in the Korean War because this has nothing to do with the Korean War. This would be someone who is studying World War II, someone who maybe lives in an area or is going to look at monuments regarding World War II and has always wondered, well, how did people get here? How did people travel? Perhaps how was World War II won or lost? Which directions were being attacked or defended? So taking a look at all the parts together, taking a look at the map itself and what shouldn't be on the map and what stands out will help give you an insight into what's going on the map here.